Welcome back to Shae's Pep Talk Rally Show, where we talk about real life situations, real setbacks, and real growth, y'all. Today, we're diving into something we all experience, but don't always talk about: setbacks. Whether it's something personal, professional, or emotional, setbacks can definitely make us feel stuck or defeated. But guess what? They don't have to. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through how to turn those setbacks into setups for something greater. So grab your notebook and let's get ready to rally. Setbacks can feel like a punch to the gut, right? They make you question everything: your decisions, your progress, sometimes even your worth. But here's the thing: the feeling of defeat isn't from the setback itself, it's how we view it, our perspective. So oftentimes we're conditioned to see setbacks as failures or something final. But in reality, setbacks are just a part of the process. It's a part of growth, learning, and moving forward. So let me share a personal story. Early in my career, I faced a major setback when a project I poured my heart into fell through. And I felt lost, like all my efforts, everything that I put into it all the time, it was for nothing. But in hindsight, I actually can see that setback gave me the courage to pivot on purpose. And that pivot led me to where I am today, living and walking in my purpose. So sometimes we need to shift our mindset from "I've failed" to "I'm learning." And what do you think would change in your life if you viewed setbacks as learning experiences instead of losses? So for me, I look at everything in life as either lessons or blessings. I don't look at it as taking any losses, right? Because I can learn from anything. Anything that didn't work out the way that I thought it should or didn't go as I had planned, I can always take that information, take that feedback, and actually pivot on purpose. Now, resilience is like a muscle. It only grows when you actually exercise it, especially in tough times. But here's the truth: no one is born resilient. I know some people make it look easy. It's like, man, no matter what that girl goes through, no matter what that man goes through, it's always like they just come back quickly. They just get it figured out. They don't let it keep them down. But no one was born that way, right? It's something that you cultivate by getting back up every time that life knocks you down. Because the truth of the matter is, life will always do what life has always done. And we have to find a way to navigate through it. And so what does resilience look like? It's about deciding, making up your mind, if you will, that no matter how hard things get, you're going to rise above it. And resilience doesn't mean that you won't feel hurt or disappointment. It just means that you won't unpack and stay there. You won't make it your home. So have your moment for what it is. It's just a moment, and we are all allowed to have that moment. People will make you feel sometimes like you're having a pity party and, you just, oh, woe is me, get over it. But it's not about that. It really is about us taking a step back outside of ourselves, being able to say, listen, in this moment, I'm feeling this. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to have that moment. Just don't unpack there. Think about some of the most successful people that you know or you truly admire. Do you really think that they've never faced a setback? Of course not, right? But their ability to rise above the obstacles is what sets them apart. And that's something that we can all cultivate in our own lives, in our own ways, on our own time. All right. And I want you to be okay with that. So resilience is a skill that is actually built over time. It's not a overnight quick, let me figure this out. Here's the recipe. Here's the sauce for it. No, you just have to go through it in order to get through it. And in order for you to do that, you just have to make up your mind. No matter what comes up against me, I have what it takes to overcome this. It may not be easy. It may be a challenge. It may take me some time, but that's okay. And be all right giving yourself that time. Now, let's get personal. All right. I faced my share of setbacks as well, some big and some small. But let me tell you, each one taught me something valuable that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. So let me take you back to a time when I faced a health setback. My struggle before I started having my children was with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the doctors told me I would never have kids due to the severity of that. So it impacted not only my health, but my confidence too. And for a while, if I'm being very honest, I felt like my body was betraying me. But through that struggle, I learned resilience. And I began to see how I could take control of the things that I could manage, like my mindset, my faith, and my self-care routine. Those are things that were within my power, within my control to do. And that shift in perspective was life-changing for me, because even there were times where I was so down and depressed about it that it almost overtook my whole life. And now I fast forward and I have one angel baby and 3 healthy children that I was blessed with. But had I let that news shatter me to my soul and not chose to get back up and fight through it and work through it, I would never have gotten where I am today. And those are the things that brings tears to my eyes, is that I almost forfeited my future for worrying about something that was very temporary. And I challenge you to be better. I challenge you to dig deeper within yourself and not let those challenges take you out to a point in a place where you feel like, I'm doomed. It'll never work out. This is the end. You know, a lot of the times we have to go through, we have to overcome. And yes, it can be very hard, very difficult. And I don't want to minimize that. But I do want you to understand that there are people like me. There are people like you. There are the people that we aspire that go through as well. And we all have what it takes. If we want to navigate and go through it, we can. It's not going to look the same for everybody, and that's okay. Now that we've talked about setbacks and resilience, let's get practical, right? How can you actually turn your obstacles into opportunities? So I'm going to give you 6 quick points here to take away today, because I like to give you something where you can actually think about it, chew on it at a later point in your life, and maybe be like, that makes sense. Let me put that into practice. So 1, acknowledge the setback. That means just don't ignore it. That's the very first thing. Don't just blow it off as nothing. Accept that it happened and how it makes you feel, because ignoring the setback, it's only going to prolong the healing or the learning process. 2, reframe the situation. I want you to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of focusing on the loss, focus on the lesson. 3, create a new plan. So when one path is blocked or you're running into some opposition, it forces you to explore other options, other opportunities, right? A no can be looked at as next opportunity versus something negative. And that new path might be even better than what you wanted. So take a moment to reassess your goals and adjust your plan. 4, take action. Don't let that setback paralyze you, even if it's just the smallest step forward. It's not about how fast you move, and it's more about just making progress. 5, find support. You don't have to go through setbacks by yourself. Surround yourself with people who will uplift you and encourage you through those tough times, because we all need it. None of us are perfect. We all go through in our own and in our different ways, and it's hard, right? So find support. 6, celebrate small wins. Every step forward that you take, that you make, no matter how small it is, every pivot within the process is progress. All right. So I want you to acknowledge those wins as part of your journey. All right, Rally Squad, it's time for the pep talk you didn't know that you needed. So I want you to think about one setback that's been weighing in on you. And maybe it's a relationship that didn't really work out, a job that didn't go as planned, or maybe it's something personal that's been holding you back. But here's what I want you to remember. Setbacks are setups for something greater. They're not the end of your story. They're part of the process. You are stronger than your challenges, wiser than your mistakes, and you're more capable than you think. You've overcome before, and you will again. Things take time. Setbacks take time. So today, take one step forward and toward turning that obstacle into an opportunity. Remember, it's not about how fast you move. It's about the fact that you are moving. One step forward is still progress. So that's a wrap on episode 3 of Shae's Pep Talk Rally Show, y'all. I hope that you're feeling inspired and ready to turn any setbacks into your next big win. Remember, Resilience is your superpower, and every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. If you've enjoyed this episode, please, please, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. And as always, don't stop, don't settle, keep stepping. You got this.